All right, all right. We are live. We're live. Uh, Most likely you are watching this from the replay. Um, got the time messed up. I don't know why. I was an hour off, but it's late, and I wanted to get this video up and out quick as possible because it is. I'm getting old. I'm saying bedtime. All right. So I only got like two things to say here, and they should not be long at all. Might be less than 10 minutes actually. Two little subjects. Actually, I believe this is the first time I'm live streaming on this channel. This is my second channel. I live streamed on one before. Not that I've done that a lot, but this will, and I might be just tripping this out when I upload a video. So my thing is, I might go live and then I'll chop it up into its respective subjects. So this might be two. The first off, the two subjects are going to be the upcoming Pixel 6. I made a video about that some time ago. It's been a while. And the Stadia. Okay, so just those two things. And we will get right into it. Let me I'm still getting into this. So let me just drop this on and then we'll get right into it. All right, so we're still I don't know what October. I was that 6 months? No, less than 6 months. But we are a few months away from the new Pixel phones. That's the Pixel 6 Pro, and maybe the Pixel Fold. Ironically, well, I'll talk about that later. Um, but we knew most about the phone for a few months, a month or so. Whenever John uh, Prosser of Front Page Tech released the specs and the images. So he put out today on his website the what he calls the full spec. Granted, these are just leaks, but he seems to be spot on so far. And we're gonna take a look at them. Hold on a second. Let me just get my screen together. All right, you want to see me? Okay. Uh, all right. Now, oh, the link to this his page, uh, his page is going to be is already in the description below. All right, so the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro for final spec list. Let's take a look. The first off, the look is growing on me. I still don't like this thing. You know, no, whatever. Uh, but starting to grow on me. Aside from the little camera bump, which it's like a camera visor. Maybe that's why it seems more intrusive. But whatever. It's grown on me. But let me look at the spec list here. All right, so this is the gravy. All right, so the Pixel 6, the regular, is coming in at 6.4 inches, display AMOLED. The rear camera 50 megapixel, wide 12 megapixel, ultra wide, front camera 8 megapixel. The battery is 4614. Ooh. And we'll get to that. 8 gigabytes of RAM, and with a base storage of 128 gig. And of course, this is shipping with Android 12. Uh, the Pro is going to be 6.7 inches. Let's see, plastic OLED. I if you don't know this, well, you've known this for like 2 seconds. I am not the best tech person, so glad you're on this channel. Plastic OLED. I'm gonna look that up once this streaming down OLED or plastic OLED, whatever. But more of the same. The only difference here, I believe there is a extra camera. Where is it? Was it a telephoto? And front page. The battery here is 5,000, and RAM of 12, and again the base 128. And of course, this is shipping with Android 12. Now, I know that I'm going to be upgrading this year. Uh, Now, for measurements, I am upgrading from the Pixel 3 XL. It's actually not it's the last Pixel I purchased, but not the what am I trying to say? But not my newest Pixel. I actually have the first Pixel was the Pixel I had before this, which is 3A XL, and I got this instead. So it's kind of a downgrade, but upgrade at the same time. And you know the specs of the A series versus they usually come a year after their you know predecessors. So this is the phone that I am moving up from, and so I'm looking at the specs here and looking at how compared to this phone. So even the base Pixel is a 6.4, and this is a 6.3. And the bigger difference is the battery life. That's the real reason of the battery life. I bought this Pixel used, and throughout me fast charging it, I mean there was all kind of bugs. I shot this battery. There's I'm charging this thing 2-3 times a day before I get home. Um, so battery life, and my battery life here was at it's like 3,400. So any one of these is a big difference. And I'm hoping that even though again, the processor is the one variable in all this that will decide if I'm supposed to be happy or excited or scared. And I'm a little bit of both. Because like I said, I'm going to be moving up, and this is a 64 gigabytes. I don't even have the 128. So the base storage of this thing of 128 is a step up for me. Let's see. It doesn't say anything about the 90 hertz. I just realized that. I don't know the refresh rate, 90 or 120 hertz. When we talk about that, I don't see that here. But the 6.7, that's a big phone. So I got a big phone now, and either way, I'm going up. I don't know. I don't know. So you decide which phone are you going for. I'm personally still undecided because yeah, there's a battery difference in the Pro versus the regular, but I know there's a larger battery, more RAM. Although I think we know at this point no phone really needs that much RAM. I'm going to enjoy that RAM, 8 gigabytes to 12 gigabytes of RAM. I'm going to enjoy that RAM, but my laptop only has 8 gigs of RAM, and man, it's sad. The specs here are I don't even have that much storage in my laptop. I don't need it, but man, uh, we'll see. I'm going to be dependent a lot on whoever gets these phones first. You know how they come, a week before the launch come, and you know, see how this is all day battery. They're both all day battery phones. Then I might just get the regular 6, uh, because the five was someone said with an all day battery phone, but part of that was due because the processor wasn't so demanding, which is how like that's the either way I'm getting one of these phones. I know I'm getting one of these phones, and the process just says Google because we don't know. There's some specs to kind of say it's around this type processor. Again, I'm not the tech guy. I just care about the real world experience because I am so the average user. Uh, but the real plus side of it all is down here. According to, I'll read this little part. It says, I'm being told that Google is committed to at least 5 years of software updates for both of these devices, which is great news. You look at to get your hands on these phones. No release date, but we're expecting this in October of this year, 2021. 5 years. Now, I just thought that that is great news. I really hope it's true. Because what we're getting like 3 years on the phones we have now. Now I'm hoping that's due because since they're making their own processors or commissioning whatever, uh, that means that they're going to be able to support it longer, just like Apple doing. I don't expect them to do as long as Apple. That's ridiculous. The 6S is getting iOS 15. That's ridiculous. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you got one of those phones, that's a good value. But I don't expect Google to compete with that, especially off the gate. And if they do, we're not going to know about it for a long time. If they're going to be able to support this phone for 5 years, I doubt I'll have that phone for 5 years, but it's a win. So all around, this is good news. I know people might complain that the base may be, especially if on the Pro, should be 256 instead of 128. Um, I could agree, but at the same point, again, I'm I'm coming from 64 gigs, y'all. I'm not. I don't get the latest and the greatest all the time, and I got this earlier this year, actually. So 2 years behind. So I'm whatever. 128 will be great for me for the base, and I believe this thing only has like 4 gigs of RAM. So I'm going to be excited here. The only downside is if I go for the Pro, and there's nothing about the watch here, but I assume the watch would be launching on the same day or the same stage as the regular Pixel phones. Um, I never had one of those, those watches, a smartwatch, but who knows? This might be the year. Anyway, uh, the only thing left is the price. And we're speculatory about the price. I'm thinking it's going to be closer to when of the Pixel 4. Remember when that launched? Uh, I'm guessing. I'm going around. I'm guessing this Pixel 6. I'm gonna say that's around 800. I'm just guessing. There's no leaks here, and I'm just gonna put the Pro at around 1,000, maybe high 900s, maybe like 900, 950. But I'm gonna say safe side, say that's 1,000 ish, and this is an 800. Or now maybe they get. I hope they get competitive, but I don't blame them if they don't. So that's the news. I'm sure there's gonna be a whole lot of videos like tomorrow. Uh, but Google Pixel 6, can't wait to have it. All right. Actually, one more thing. The irony is, it's all about. We know everything about these Pixel phones, which is normal for this time of year, but the Fold, which I'm not excited about the Fold, and it's why I'm not really too excited about the Fold is because that's the hardware. I'm not. I like Google. I'm the Google fanboy. I'm not. Remember that's what the name is. Uh, but when it comes to the hardware, Google is good over time. The software gets better, the experience gets better over time. But they don't shine, in my opinion, on product first off the gate, out of the gate. Which I know that if you know that about them, you can live with it. But if they mess up the processor, I think Google could do a lot of stuff. But if they mess up the processor, or they mess up, like something in the Fold that's hardware related, you can't just software fix that. So while they had a lot of trial and errors with regular phones, I'm confident that this is going to be a more than usable phone. Will it be able to compete with the Apple or the Samsung of this year? I don't know. I think it take a good. I think it's going to be up there top 10, but I think this is a good year for Google. But the Fold, which we know not much about, at least I don't. But not excited about it, and I definitely not trying to get that this year. All right, but that's everything here. I'm gonna drop this video, and I'm gonna go into my next subject. See you in about 10 seconds. All right. So I checked, and it has been 6 months. 6 months. Oh, let me grab this. When I got this boy. This is the Stadia controller, and I got it with the whole Premier Edition. Oh, sorry. Just didn't know. And since then, I have kind of go overboard. Now I only got to get this controller. I got my final controller. I'm not going to cap. I'm not going to act like I was one of the few. I wish I was, but I bought this. And I bought two of these, actually. I even have this one. You can't tell by this light, but this is that mint green. So I've had Stadia now for 6 months. Been a pro member for that long as well. And I guess I should get a review on it. So how has Stadia been for me? First off, I got in on a rocky start. I got in, I can't remember the exact day or but it was right when they closed down their other platform, the SG&E, when they closed down, their own, I can't talk today. But whatever, all that controversy, and then every video was like, Stadia's dead, and I already put in my order about this to use, and I just got my Premiere bundle. I loaded it up because I think I bought a Pixel book either earlier in the year or last year, but I got like 3 months of Stadia Pro for free, and I hooked this thing up. I found a game that I liked. I started playing, and I was sold the same night that I believe this is the future. Am I stuttering? Hold on. You don't want to try plug into the router. Okay. All right. Hold up. All right. I am back. So where was it? So I started Stadia that night, and I was told that this was my replacement to my console. I said in earlier videos that the last console that I purchased was the PlayStation 3. I heard the PlayStation 4 was all right, but at the time money was tight and I couldn't justify the expense. And honestly, I had a fun time with my PlayStation 3, but I had a fun better time with the PlayStation 2. So that might sour me a little bit when the PS4 came around because I was like, you know what, I only have a handful of games on the whole system. Why am I spending X amount of dollars on a new system that I'm might barely getting used out, and plus I was working a lot, so I am very much a casual gamer. Even now, I could barely find time to game. Might try some tonight, but so when Stadia worked, and you heard people say this, so I'm gonna say it again. It I forgot that I'm playing on the cloud. I legit keep looking around for the box for the console, and I forget that there is no console. That is like direct. I'm playing off a dongle, which is just insane to me. And then like the experience was just, yeah, I don't know how to say it. You have to experience, to kind of know what that feeling feels like. Uh, and just that whole feeling of I didn't have to purchase a expensive console, and I know I would have got a even better or smoother experience had I be playing on actual hardware, in your living room. That's always probably going to give you like the best experiences. Hardware running locally is going to give you the better experience. But the fact that y- the feeling you get when something's not the best, but it has the better value. If you know what I mean. Uh, the technology that I like to purchase is not the uh, the best spec wise. There are a lot of things that are the most expensive, but usually if you get the most expensive, you're probably not getting the best value. And you know what I mean. By the time you spend that pretty penny, you're expecting to be perfect because you paid for perfection. You pay for top quality, and if something goes wrong with it, you feel cheated. The opposite, if I paid little and I got a lot out of it, I feel like I won. Like because I got better. I believe I got the best bang for my buck. And with Stadia, it being virtually free, I didn't even pay full price for the game that I bought. I use I have like I play use those Google surveys, and like so you get this digital currency, and I use that and I drop the price down a lot. When I was purchasing games, I still built that up. So any game a lot of these games that I'm buying, if I have to use cash, I just use the digital cash that Google gives me, and that brings the price down on these games. And if I use Pro, I get these free games, or these games are always going on sale. Uh, but I plugged into a state community, and then I'm like, okay, let's see what's working here because everybody's saying this is bad. If you more videos are not saying state is bad. Some of them have are made by people who done had legit bad experiences, so I'm not gonna fault them for that. Other people are just I don't know the line I think they got ulterior motives, uh, and they have much bigger platforms than me or anybody else who I believe are giving it a fair shake. Most likely, you're looking at me. You heard what they said. State is dead. I put a video out a couple of weeks ago when Google released the Stadia app on the Google the Android TV with how's it called the on Google TV. Nowhere. When they released the Stadia app, uh, and I put on there because at first, the day one, it wasn't working, or because I tried in the morning and it wasn't there. I put a little short video out. Uh, then later on, tried at night, but people comment on that video that did Stadia's dead. I don't know why I keep getting that. I don't know why people think Stadia's dead. I do know why people think Stadia's dead, but it's not true. However, I don't have everything I got to say about Stadia is not rosary. It's like I'll tell the truth. Uh, Starting with the Stadia app on Google TV. So a lot of us were waiting for this. The Google TV launched without Stadia support. Uh, it was a little bit of a bummer. People were sideloading it, but I was waiting for the official release, and it came. and I have mixed feelings about it. Now, for reference, I already have a Ultra in my bedroom, and that plays fine. Not saying there's never a lag, but I know my internet is not way up here either. So, but I could play on that no problem. I forget that when you get that experience of you forget that you are playing on a cloud. I think that's good. I think that's really good. But it plays fine there for the most part. And I used to have an Ultra in my living room, where I'm at now. Uh, but now I play Stadia on my PC, and my PC is right next to my TV, and I got HDMI hooked into my TV and basically make it a second monitor, and I just full screen, the web page, and I play stay on my TV, but it's on my TV, but it's on my PC. You get it. So I could play on my TV before, and I could even wirelessly connect my Stadia controller to my PC. So I was good. The only thing that this app did is uh, help me be lazy. Let me put it that way. I'm laying on my couch. I don't feel like getting up, and I got my Stadia controller over there, and I got my little Google remote over there now, uh, and it's just easy. I just turn to it, Stadia, plug it in, and I'm in the game. The ease to get in the game is pretty good. That's why I know this is going to be very successful. Now, the bad, the thing lags like crazy. Not, I don't know, say like crazy. It's like uh, the internet is like off and on. It's like it's just one second I got excellent connection, and the next connection is about to stop. Never really stopped, but it got to a point where it's borderline unplayable. I played 3 games, and first I had this thing at 4K, then I turned down 1080p, then I turned it down to 720, and it helped. And I believe it helped a lot. I played, I lasted longer than I did before. Uh, I think it's something that they could fix on their end. You know, uh, you know, maybe I'm having like got too much of a hope. I think they can. Yeah, sorry, low energy. Uh, so even though it's not the best for me, I've listened to enough people to know that I might be in the minority of people who are having not the best of time with their uh, on the stadium on the TV. Now I can go back to my PC play. It's not a big deal to me. I want this thing to work, and I'm gonna keep playing it because I think Stadia I think Google just needs more info to make it better. Because I think that's what it was like before. I heard that it was bad when Stadia first came out. Again, I wasn't the one of the first, but over time, they just need the info and people playing it and feedback, which I do get the feedback after every time I stream. So they have something to work with, and I believe if they can, because it don't make sense. My internet may not be the best, but the internet was near flawlessly in another room, and it don't matter if I'm in another room. It's the same internet. So I think it's just how the app connects. It's stuttery, it lags, it kind of freezes sometimes, and I think it just needs more info. So honestly, it can be hit or miss, but my experience is not going to be your experience. I'm not going to blow smoke. I'm just saying if you're watching this and you haven't even tried Stadia, give it a try. Give it a try. You don't even, and the only thing I think they have it now to where you can just use your phone. You don't even need to use a controller. They got like the gamepad where you could just literally grab your phone and connect that. I'm not sure. Can you connect it to? I know they've been working. I believe you can connect that to the state. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know they're working on that. Or you know, uh, hmm. and you can use a PlayStation 4 controller or a Xbox One controller. I think you can just use any controller you want. Basically, I think you have to have that generation onward. Uh, but anyway, that's all I got for you today. I've asked you to just try. I blown smoke, and I got, you can find these on eBay if you don't want to pay the full $70 for it. But honestly, when you're saving that much money, it's worth it. Is Stadia Pro worth it to you? Well, that's your decision. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. See y'all later.